Hello, eavesdroppers. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another pop culture tarot reading. I hope you all are feeling like $1,000,000. On today's episode, we are going to look into who is Katie. The Nolan Wells investigation continues. When it comes to the Nolan Wells case, who is Katie McCormick? We're going to look into the mysterious woman that he was supposedly last seen with prior to his untimely demise, all right? Everything I say in this reading is alleged, and for entertainment purposes only. I have no proof, so take it with a grain of salt. Just enjoy the reading. Alright, guys. I'm going to look from Nolan's perspective, and then we'll ask some specific questions to Katie in the end. Alright? So, Nolan, who is Katie? Who is Katie to you? Okay, we have a joyful anticipation here. It says, looking forward to the future with joyful anticipation. Planning your dreams together, set shared goals, and working toward a bright future and fulfilling future. I feel these people are hiding in the tall grass on this card. Just makes me feel like this connection may have been pretty covert. They're wearing these jackets, they're covered up, they're kind of looking over their shoulders, they're looking away from each other, almost like they have to cover each other's backs. I feel this relationship may have been somewhat covert, may have been going on for a while, or these are people that plan to be together in the future or talked about the possibility of it, from Nolan's perspective anyway. What else, Nolan? We have endless love, engaged, wedding, and commitment. This could be the one you've waited for to love forever. Wow. Wow. So it looks like these two may have had some kind of history, may have had a desire to actually build a pretty solid, stable relationship. Bottom of the deck, we have sweet allure, mystery, believe, and let go. Embrace the unknown and let love bloom on its own. I feel like they were feeling very romantical to each other on that day. There were some feelings that appeared to be in bloom that day. Let's get more. Show me who Katie McCormick is, Nolan. We have a physical connection there. These people are literally laying by the water being intimate with each other. They're laying in the grass, they're kissing. It's the sacred union of bodies and two becoming one. There could have been physical activity between them that day. And then we have let go of the past. Clear the energy to allow more love in your life. And I had a strong message here. One of these decks is showing me a message of release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. And this card says clear your energy to allow more love into your life and let go of the past. Someone could have caught them. Someone could have been disapproving of this relationship. There's a masculine energy here that may have either seen them together and got jealous or may have been resentful that she was moving on. All right, the bottom of the deck, we have the number 30. Eros and Thanatos. Okay. So this is love and death, I believe. There are a bunch of snakes here, and I do believe in the reading I did for him yesterday, it said he was surrounded by vipers. There's a bunch of snakes surrounding, and it looks like he's even protecting her, defending against these snakes. And she's laying on the ground here, again, by this body of water. This is a totally different card. But he put his cape on. He has his shield up. He's protecting her. Wow. So there's something going on. Yeah, we have the Warrior of Love at the bottom of the deck, the number 10. There was something going on here with him protecting her. I don't necessarily see that she had anything to do with it, but we will see. We're going to look very deep today, y'all. Know we're going to dig deep. I do see a proposal here, so I'm wondering if they decided to maybe start dating seriously this day and someone wasn't necessarily feeling that. All right, let's get a little bit more here. All right, so we have here bestie tea time. Your friends know the real story. Information connects behind the scenes and the truth enters through the bestie channel. There's a text message being exchanged. We talked about a text message holding proof the other day, yesterday, I think it was, or the day before. Yeah, there's two people here. I told you all there are two major players in this incident, this case, this tragedy. It's showing us two women here. There could be two women that are close to Katie that know, Remember, we did have the 3 women in the car the other day, and then they turned from women to these Jezebels. All right. And we have align with your truth. When you follow what feels right, your life falls into place. Clarity leads your next step. So in that moment, he was following what he felt was right. Okay, let's see one more. We have mixed signals. They act warm, then cold. You're left guessing their intentions. The inconsistency speaks louder than words. So it gives me that he was maybe wanting clarity about what it was that she wanted. I do believe there's either 2 women, 2 young women, or 2 young men who know, possibly even all 4 of them. They know about this. Their text messages exchanged. There's a paper trail here. Now, this could be that he felt confused about what she wanted. Maybe they were having a conversation. He expressed that he liked her, or she expressed that she liked him, and maybe the other rejected the other. Bottom of the deck, we have a wake-up call, and it does feel like Nolan. This person on his card even has the eyes like Nolan. So there's a light bulb that went off for him. He had sudden clarity. And it says clarity leads your next step, and this person is walking away. I'm wondering if Nolan was desiring something with her, and maybe she didn't desire the same thing or on the same timeline, and he may have decided to walk away, and that could be where something happened, maybe from behind. It says sudden clarity. You can't unsee the truth, and the universe is ringing the alarm, so pay attention now. He was getting warning signs. I told y'all, I feel he knew the night before not to go on this trip. He knew something was going to happen to him, but he did not listen. There's the truth revealed here, and there's a mask. Somebody was wearing a mask. Now, this is showing up as a masculine that has taken their mask off, and Nolan is here with the flashlight looking at the mask. It says their mask is slipping, the receipts are surfacing, and hidden info is exposed. Now you know what you're dealing with, but it was too far gone. There's a masculine and a feminine energy, a young man and a young woman here, and there's a power player, a man in a suit that may be in an authority position here. Financially stable person. I'm seeing like somebody that may be involved in finance, the stock exchange, here. And they're all whispering. They're whispering, they're talking to each other. Workplace alliances and secrets and power plays are being made here. Smiles in meetings and whispers in hallways. Protect your reputation. It feels like people in high places. Yeah, we have heartbreak residue here. Past wounds affect the present and old wounds reappear. Suddenly, healing is still in progress. It almost feels like there was an emotional wounding that took place. Like maybe somebody got rejected and could not accept that, or maybe that was someone else who was exterior to the connection who got rejected, a third party, and couldn't accept that and saw them together and didn't like it. Okay, let's move on to the next deck here. Nolan, tell me about Katie McCormick. All right, he said there was a red flag glow. There were subtle warning signs, niceness with edges, and charm that feels off. Intuition was alerting him. Wow. We have conditional affection showing up as the number 17 on the calendar. Something can happen on the 17th, or maybe that's past tense. This is warmth only when beneficial, controlled care and emotion with strings attached. He wasn't trusting her. What happened? We have no filter, speaking your truth, authentic communication, raw honesty, and this is how I really feel. I feel like he spoke up for how he felt, and he didn't feel the same from her. There's a woman here with the red flag. Then we have payday, deposited $1,400 here. Finance rewards, money rolling in, celebration of success, and check is cash. There's some kind of money exchanging here. Again, the finance industry, there's a banking institution here. There could be money exchanged here. This feels ritualistic. It always feels ritualistic. Bottom of the deck, we have here emotional timeout. It says stepping back suddenly, quiet reset, temporary detachment, and connection on hold. I feel like she was toying with him. I do. I feel like she was leading him on. Maybe even starting to be intimate with him. Maybe she was under the influence. We're going to ask certain questions, specific questions in a moment. But it feels like she may have been either toying with him or maybe she felt like he was toying with her. Maybe because he was under the influence. Someone feels like they got rejected and didn't accept it well. And that could even be a third party. Doesn't have to be either of them. It could be someone connected to him or her that felt a way about those two being together. Okay, let's move on. We have 3 more decks before we get to the tarot. All right, Nolan. What are your feelings for Katie on the day of your demise? Prior to your demise, how are you feeling about Katie? He said that he was healing family issues. It says your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. There was issues with his parents he could have been discussing with her or her with him. Something from childhood is showing me a child with their adult parents. I know that Nolan's parents, I believe anyway, they are not together. I believe he is raised by a single mother. I don't know Katie's background. I do believe her parents are married, but I could be wrong. Maybe even there's a step-parent involved, but I do believe she's in a 2-parent house. I don't know about Nolan. I don't believe his mother and father are still together. Could have been a little on the tipsy side. Maybe, you know, how people get emotional. They start sharing personal things. They could have even bonded over that. We have a new love here. This is how he felt. She was a new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So he said he was having feelings for her. Did she reject you? We have religious factors and release your ex. There's an X here. It says your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. That could even be racial issues. And then we have the time has come to clear your energy. So there's another person that was blocking them from choosing to be together. Somebody else needed to be released. And I'm wondering if that person was on that trip. Was her ex on the trip? We have finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. That could mean that she still had a financial connection to an ex, or he did. I do believe he told us he was completely single yesterday. He was single, he was available. And that could be why he told us that yesterday, knowing I was going to follow up today, that maybe she wasn't. Maybe she had financial strings attached or some kind of connection to someone. It could even be that they come from 2 different socioeconomic backgrounds. We have soulmate at the bottom of the deck. Yes, this is your soulmate. And we have engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. If they have been dating for a while, it looks like these two were talking about something very serious. And then separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Okay, if she had an ex, what were his feelings about Katie? They may need to look into her ex-boyfriend. We have flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. He could still be flirting with her. You could have still had an attraction. They are near a body of water as well. And it looks like they're kissing, and she's not really interested, but he is. All right, we have soulmate again. Yes, this is your soulmate. And we have it is okay. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. If there's another masculine here that Katie has been involved with before, they need to look into him. Especially if it's one of the people that was on the trip with Nolan. They have to look at this person because they could be involved. Okay, we're going to move on. We have 1 more deck. I'm sorry, we have 2 more decks. Okay, let's look at Katie's energy. Katie, what do you have to say about Nolan? What were your feelings for Nolan? She says it's time to move on. Again, one of them needed to leave someone behind. And there's also there are clocks that keep showing up. It feels like running out of time. It feels like time was of the essence. There was this sense of urgency about leaving someone else behind. Show me more. Katie's feelings were updates to your system and stormy. And this woman is in the water and she's crying. And she has a chain on her arm, like she's chained to something. And there's a lot of lightning coming from the sky. So this feels she's crying in the water. Very interesting. Then we have the 10-90 ratio. which is the belief that, life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react. The scales of justice are here. They are not balanced. There is a sword here. And we have the journey. So she's saying I was making the best of the situation. I don't know if she was crying, if something happened. It looks like they could have been venting to each other, but there's grief here as she sits in this water and she's chained to it. It almost feels like it's telling me she's chained to the situation, one way or another. I still think we have to look into the friends. They are still a possibility, but it's just a possibility. I mean, obviously, these are not factual statements. These are just interpretations of the cards, but I'm going to look more. We have unconscious gains and confessions. Someone may end up confessing something. I did read today that Katie is cooperating, unlike the boys. So I do feel Katie may be on the innocent side. I don't know that Katie is the one we need to be looking for. I do strongly feel it's the masculine, but let's see. Let's ask some questions and see. All right, show me all about Nolan when it comes to Katie. Nolan, what do you want to say here in this last step before we get to tarot? What do you want to say, Nolan? He said in his positive feedback, the Six of Wands, he's saying he adored her. He's in support of her. He admired her. She was the center of attention. She was getting a lot of his attention. He could be seeing her as someone who was very beautiful. At Six of Wands is pretty privilege. It can also represent somebody who is very popular. It talks about like sitting with the cool kids. He felt very privileged to be with her. Proud to have her with him in that moment on his arm. He's saying she had good character here. All right, we have foreign exchange. All right, so the Eight of Wands here, Mercury in Sagittarius, and this is long-distance travel for work or love. It almost makes me feel that he's saying they may have been about to go off to college or something, but they plan to still be together. This talks about learning a new language or integrating yourself into other heritages. Again, the interracial dating. Foreign currency due to travel or financial dealings. Again, something about money exchanging hands needs to be investigated. It says the Sagittarius may be involved. I know he was a Leo. I have no idea what her sign is, but this is long-distance travel for work or love. A holiday romance. Obviously, they were together on the 4th of July. That is a holiday romance. Cultural differences. Passport bros. Divesting. SEX tourism. Wow. Let's see more. So the Eight of Wands talks about a whirlwind romance. I feel like he was really caught up in her. Okay, we have core beliefs here. The Magician. This is an inner monologue, law of attraction, thoughts becoming things. As above, so below, as within, so without. And life is what you make it. Gemini and Virgo energy. So there's something about the belief systems here, wondering if they could make this happen. It does feel like they felt motivated to make something happen. They were seeing something in each other that they really were attracted to. Was someone jealous of the connection, Nolan? Ooh, that jumped out. We have a rise to prominence, and it was in reverse. It says moving up in rank, overnight success, a major promotion or level up, expansion, achieving a milestone in your profession, making a name for yourself, public recognition, becoming a household name, fame, boss moves, stepping into a leadership position, popularity, growth, closing a major deal, well-known public figure. I feel like this is somebody that had an issue with him. Show me more. Okay, and again, positive feedback is Leo energy. He was a Leo. Was there someone jealous of this connection that was on a trip with you all? All right, we have valleys. He said that there were lows, there were cons, this was the lowest point, the downside, the negative, the struggles, pessimism and doubt. Pessimism and doubt. Yeah, he's saying there was someone that was not in support of this. They were in the valley. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Love conquers all. Love wins. He's saying I wasn't going to not date her because someone else didn't like it. Show me more. All right, so we have stay committed to your craft, see it through, finish what you start, lock in, focus, discipline, and resilience. I also feel like there were talks here, maybe even a bit of a feeling of rejection, possibly on her part, not because she wasn't interested, but maybe because she was telling him, you need to focus on your studies, you need to focus on your, your future. And yes, there's an attraction, and maybe if we're meant to be, we will be. We have the lover boy. He was the lover boy, a hopeless romantic, a player, a Lothario, a Romeo, a thrill seeker, impulsive, a love bomber, Casanova, charmer, flirt, non-committal, love him and leave him alone, and here for a good time, out a long time. Now that could be the third party. We could also be looking at his energy of maybe wanting to deal with her. Maybe she saw him as a lover boy, this athlete, this young man, still in his prime, just about to start his young adulthood. Yeah, we have a visceral reaction, deeply affected, gut feeling, reaction, intuitive feeling, instinctive response, innate, uncontrollable, and natural response. Who had a visceral reaction here? I'm asking about jealousy. I'm asking about people who had a problem with this connection, and that would be the Five of Swords. That would be Aquarius and Mercury. That would be a really tumultuous, aggressive energy, somebody trying to win at all costs. That could even be a past lover. Maybe the lover boy is an ex. We have catfish, not who they pretend to be, so he keeps confusing me. Because one minute it feels like he's saying things were good between us, but something changed. I'm going to get the tarot and dig deeper into this, but Katie, did you betray Nolan? Were you in on this? Was this a setup? Saying not who they pretend to be. Was this a setup? We have beneficial, advantage, favorable, helpful, useful, valuable, profitable, and worthwhile. So what was the benefit to setting him up if you did? What was the benefit to setting Nolan up? No matter if you are involved or not, we have the glamorous life, lap of luxury, abundance, high status, indulgence, financial stability, self-sufficiency. I'm going to be honest with you all. I don't know what Nolan's skill set was. I know he was a football player. I don't know what kind of future he had lined up as far as college goes and, any type of interest in him as far as like going pro one day. But it almost feels like this Nine of Pentacles feels distorted to me. Like what I can benefit from him. It makes me think of the movie Get Out. How, towards the end of the movie, the white girlfriend was sitting there eating the cereal and then she was drinking the milk separately. And she was looking at up-and-coming basketball players that were coming into the NBA. And she was scouting for her next victim. I don't know. Let's keep going. Katie, were you all setting Nolan up? Was this a setup? We have a karmic contract, a toxic attachment meant to act as a catalyst for a breakthrough, a love-hate relationship that teaches you major lessons and once the contract is fulfilled. Wow, so they had a karmic contract. This is spiritual. It always shows up as a spiritual lesson. She was supposed to be a spiritual lesson. She was not someone he was supposed to be committing to. He made a fatal mistake here. He let his attraction to someone he found attractive get him pulled into a catfish situation. All right, we have like mother, like daughter. This card has been trying to come out the whole read. This is lineage. This is heredity. This is inherited issues. This is the bloodline, the ancestry, the DNA, tradition, family values. This runs in the family. The apple does not fall far from the tree. This is some kind of legacy, a generational curse, a birthright, something that she felt predisposed to. Is saying that she's like mother, like daughter. So who is her mother? What is the history on her mother? Some of you know a lot about this case. I don't. Leave it below if you know anything about her mother, because something about the mother is showing up here. Give me two more. Katie, did you all set him up? We have distancing yourself, going goals, withdrawing, reclusive, time apart, taking a break, staying to yourself, antisocial, soul-searching, figuring yourself out, hermit mode, contemplation, spiritual enlightenment, and calling your power back. I feel like they were all toying with him. And I feel like he had a strong attraction to her, and he got lost in that. His lover boy instincts kicked in, and his common sense went out the window. He told us yesterday he was just fell off the turnip truck, and he felt like the lights on, but nobody was home. Wow. Show me one more. All right, we have diet woke. There you go. not as deep as they think they are, swears they're the smartest in the room, read a book or two and thinks they know it all, pseudo-intellectual, cynical, all talk no action, armchair revolutionary. And this is Aquarius Mercury in Aquarius, the King of Swords reverse, which is like bad decision making, bad judgment, lacking that intellect, that common sense. The connecting energy to it all is knocked up. Is there some pregnancy going on here? So someone is knocked up, and we have strong friend syndrome, a Sagittarius or a Gemini. And then we have the second time around is not as good as the first, a one-hit wonder. There's friendship here with great minds think alike. So there's some friendship here again. Those two people keep showing up. He was letting his guards down, and the people around him were not trustworthy. They were not trustworthy. Nolan, were your friends involved in this catfish, this setup, this ambush? It feels like an ambush. Were your friends, the three men on the boat with you that you went on a trip with, were they involved in this? Were they involved in this? He says interference, third party, competition, blocked intuition. Blocked intuition shows up again. External forces and outside influences. Now, he's saying that they could have been a part of it, but there may be other people involved as well. We talked about those three people yesterday. Then I'm going to need to look at 2 to 3 people here, but they have 2 main characters that they want to look forward to. Let me just see if he was saying that they were trying to protect him, though. Maybe they were the third party interference, and his intuition was blocked, and they were outside forces that did this. Let's go into the second part of this. Nolan, were your friends involved that you went on a trip with? He said it was a close call. We have a pregnancy scare. There's something going on with the pregnancy here. Almost caught, never missed, dodged a bullet, and avoided catastrophe. Give me more. We have a crime of passion. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's see. We have high demand. I feel like there are a lot of hands in this. There are a lot of people involved. Maybe not directly, but there are a lot of people involved. Were your friends involved, Nolan? Give me a clear yes or no. Were your friends involved? He says anger management, the strength card, Leo energy, inner strength, taming, control, influence, compassion, and peacemaker energy. Okay, so he's the Leo here. He was trying to get control over the situation. He was trying to take the high road. Strength card is all about taking the high road, being a peacemaker, being logical, taming your ego, taming your emotions. Show me more. I just always get this feeling of being outnumbered. We have a comrade. Yes, this is the friends, y'all. The 2 of Cups, Venus and Cancer. This is close friends, besties, someone you can trust in your corner. He said it's the buddy system. Birds of a feather flock together. This is partnership, mutual feelings, and rapport. In the bottom of the deck, instincts comes out again, saying that he had inner knowledge. He had innate feelings, intuitive nudges about this. His impulses, his infinite intelligence and deep knowing was telling him not to do this. We have hate, ambush, a power struggle, a battle of wills. The 5 of Swords reverse, Venus in Aquarius. He's saying that there was an ambush. We have collecting. Did they check for his organs? We have an estranged sibling. I don't know if there's an estranged sibling of one of these boys that may be significant here. He's pointing out something about a pet. His fur baby? Maybe a pet that he lost previous to his own demise, or one that's still alive. He's pointing that out for some reason. He's also pointing out a family. Maybe involving an Aries person. He's pointing out a family, a group of people that he felt like were there to support him. Yeah, he said this is a family affair. Get-togethers, reunion, celebration. The 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is 4th of July energy. Yeah, 3 of Cups happens during the week of the 4th of July. And it's the first 10 days of July. He's pointing out feeling like he was around people he could trust, but he says he was on Fantasy Island. Oh my goodness. He was wearing rose-colored glasses. There was smoke and mirrors. His judgment was clouded. He was being idealistic. He was in La La Land. He was tempted. He was tempted. And I'm hearing that song, Tempted by the Fruit of Another. Oh, I have to look up the lyrics to that song. I actually heard that song in a restaurant earlier today. That's so weird. Seven of Cups is definitely temptation. Shiny object syndrome. A fear of missing out is telling him to pick his poison, choose wisely. This was a delusion, hallucination. And we have complex PTSD here. He was in deep distress when this happened. But let me get that song. Let me get that song for you all and see what it's all about. The song came out in 1981, is by The Squeeze, called Tempted. Okay, I'm going to read a few of these lyrics. It says, I bought a toothbrush, some toothpaste, a flannel for my face, pajamas, a hairbrush, new shoes, and a case. I said to my reflection, let's go out of this place. Past the church and the steeple, the laundry on the hill, billboards in the buildings, memories of it still. Keep calling and calling, but I forget it all. I know I will. Tempted by the fruit of another. Tempted, but the truth is discovered. What's been going on? Now that you have gone, there's no other. Tempted by the fruit of another. Tempted, but the truth is discovered. It says, I'm at the car park, the airport, the baggage carousel. The people keep on grinding. Ain't wishing I was well. I said it's no occasion, it's no story I could tell. At my bedside, empty pocket, a foot without a sock. Your body gets much closer, I fumble for the clock. There's something about a clock here, maybe a watch, I don't know, something about time, a clock, a watch. Alarmed by the seduction, I wish that it would stop. Wow. Wow, y'all. It says, I bought a novel, some perfume, a fortune all for you. But it's not my conscience that hates to be untrue. I asked of my reflection, tell me, what is there to do? And tempted by the fruit of another, what is going on with this tempted energy I'm feeling? Seven of Cups is procrastination, is temptation. It's a situation where you're not seeing things as they truly are. We have never say never here. And indulgence, pleasure, self-care, pampering, sensuality, enjoyment, contentment, and sex. And we have a wandering mind, and turf wars are showing up here. Something's going to happen 4 months from now. We have the card pointing out 4 months from now. So something may happen in the month of, what is that? September, not September, November. November or, yeah, I'm feeling like November. Something will happen in November. So we have a hostile environment, competition, the clash of egos, and a battleground, fighting over community property, issues with neighbors or people who are under the same roof as you, and self-defense. It's telling him to pull back his energy, but he was too far gone. It says he was on a chopping block. He was removed, eliminated, outcast, and in the cold. Whoa. Says black and dark here. Someone was being nosy, spying, snooping, watching your every movement in your business and probing. And someone gave an ultimatum of this or that. I don't even know what to say about this reading. It says it's time for a detox. I don't know if they was drinking. Let me see if they're trying to say now that he was on drugs, he was drinking. I want to look and see here. Says he was walking on eggshells. He was avoiding conflict and feeling overwhelmed mentally, wanting peace and quiet. He was avoiding the conflict. He was a people pleaser, and he was trying to keep the peace. Wow. Okay, Nolan. Wow. Were you under the influence of something here? I mean, we do have indulgence, and I do know that they were all drinking and partying, but was he so far gone that he was, out of his mind and maybe drowned because of that? Let's see. What was your state, Nolan, at the time of your passing? We had the risk not worth the reward. The Seven of Pentacles reversed. Saturn and Taurus, he said it was a bad investment, a waste of time. He did not get a return on his investment. He felt like he was working hard for something but not getting something back from it. And he was saying he needed to read the fine print and think twice about something. What was that? Were you under the influence of something? Okay. We have breaking no contact. A reconciliation, possibly with Katie. Saying he reached out. He was the peacemaker again. He took the high road. He was calling a truce and ending the silent treatment to reestablish communication and reach a compromise or common ground. Now, that could be when the fight broke out. He wanted to be on good terms again. He was extending an olive branch, and we have a fitness journey here. It says he was accepting a challenge. Now, the Ace of Wands could be someone challenged him to do something when he wasn't in his right mind and he did it. Nolan, give me some clear answers here. Were you under the influence? Was your death your own fault? All right, so we have willpower, magic, something out of nothing, out of thin air. It is finished. There you go. Approval already done. I need more. Because this could have been his own willpower. We have dimmed. He's saying his light was dimmed, or he could be saying he was not fully in his right mind. Show me more. But that doesn't have to mean it was on his own accord. We have above and beyond, self-sacrifice, overgiving, going out of one's way, overextending, and bending over backwards. He keeps showing me he had something to prove to these people. He was trying to prove that that he was friendly to them. He was trying to appeal to something in them, some humanity. Whomever did this to him. How are you feeling about your friends in the final moments of your life? The ones you rode on the boat with, you went on a trip with. How are you feeling about them in the final moments of your life? He says that they are the global elite. They are the 1%ers, the powers that be. He's thinking about the institutions. He's looking at the situation as the haves versus the have-nots. He says that they are powerful individuals in finance, politics, business, and entertainment. I told you all, somebody is involved in possibly politics, law enforcement, government. We do know that someone's parent is a judge, and I think someone else is in law enforcement, but there's also someone in finance they need to look out for, or politics. He says these people have world domination. He's pointing out 30,000 people affected by this group of people with these children that he was around. He says they have abuse of power here, predictive programming. This is a method of problem solving where there's a problem, reaction, solution, a thesis, an antithesis, and then a synthesis. He says that they have absolute power, population control, mass hysteria, and energy harvesting. Wow. He says they are part of the 1%. So he's saying these children come from affluence. All right, so we have the world here. Again, that's global energy. He's saying that this is far-reaching. Show me more. Could be a Capricorn person, a Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Taurus. He's saying that he was oblivious, he was obtuse, he was confused, and he was ignoring the obvious. He felt like he had a bit of cognitive dissonance, and in those last moments that clarity came through for him. The Two of Swords is also plausible deniability. He's saying that they will never admit this. He feels like he'll never get justice. So it does look like they have something to do with it, but it feels like a network of people. Okay, we have the ride or die chick. Okay, so this person goes through thick and thin, dependable, reliable, your day one, loyal to a fault. He felt like he was loyal to a fault. He said that this was struggle love, and he was ready to risk it all for them. And he says he was 2 sheets to the wind. Okay, drunk, noticeably inebriated, and unsteady. So there was some drinking here. Now, he could be saying this about them because I am asking about the friends now. I did move on. to the friends. So I don't know if he's saying that they were drunk, they were two sheets to the wind. He said that they were being strategic. The Seven of Swords, the fake friend card, same thing that came out yesterday. He said he wanted an exit strategy, but they were calculating. They were clever and resourceful, cunning, sneaky, and he couldn't escape. He felt like they were watching him, spying on him, and deceitful. And then he says that it was blatant, in your face, direct, blunt, clear, and plain to see. He realized too late. He realized too late. And he's saying that he had the it factor. He had something special about him, and there was a shady individual involved in a bad faith argument. Somebody was gaslighting him. Is Sean me an air sign person who was manipulating him, intellectually dishonest, gaslighting, using reverse psychology and a know-it-all? And there's the timing thing again with ASAP. He's saying someone was high here, and he was standing alone. He felt like he was by himself. He's pointing out the pace that things were moving. Something about the timing. I feel like things were moving quickly, and then they were slowing down. And he said it brought major changes, and they were being extra AF. They were being dramatic. There were theatrics, over-the-top theatrics, exaggeration. There was drama. There was a mean girl, a mean guy, or provocation. Someone with main character energy again. That came out in his reading yesterday. He's saying that there's somebody with a borderline personality disorder, and then we have single again. So again, I am wondering if all of this is interconnected. I don't get clear enough answers to eliminate anyone. I feel like they're all involved. He said he was walking on eggshells. Came out again. Rehab is here. Somebody might have some kind of addiction problem. I don't feel like he's saying this is him. I'm asking about his friendship. He's pointing out somebody that was a leader that threw a curveball, and he's saying he knew it was too good to be true. He had a Seven of Cups again. He's pointing out nepotism, favoritism, unfair advantage with these children. Said they want it both ways. He has admirers here, the Six of Wands again, Leo energy, and he's pointing out a white flag. A truce, a compromise, peace offering, resolution of conflict, apology, and forgiveness. Again, he wanted peace with them. They wouldn't accept it. He felt like he was in jeopardy. He was vulnerable, an easy target. He was at risk, in danger, and in harm's way. And somebody keeps showing up as knocked up. I have no idea what's going on with that pregnancy energy, but there's something about someone being knocked up. I don't know what that might mean. It may not mean anything, but it keeps coming out. All right, I'm going to clean up my table, and I'm going to move to the final portion of this reading, which is the tarot portion. And this is just it's like we go from one week to the next week, one child to the next child, one situation to the next situation. All this drama, all this stress, all of this negative news. Okay, I'm going to simply do this. I want to know the energy on July 4th of Nolan, everything I need to know, of Katie, everything I need to know, and of the friends. And I'm also going to ask if there are any other people involved that we need to be aware of. I do feel like there are, but let's look at Nolan. Nolan, tell me everything you want to say about your last day on Earth, July 4th. Four of Wands. He's saying they were celebrating. They were having fun. These people are at the beach. There's a body of water behind them. They're celebrating, they're having fun. He's saying it was good times. He felt like he was amongst people he could trust, feeling supported. He was happy. But then the King of Cups shows up reversed, which can be drinking, heavy drinking. The Knight of Wands can be aggression, can be bullying, can be cockiness, arrogance. There's a Sagittarius, a water sign. There's some immaturity here. There's a bit of bullying that's going on. He felt betrayed. He's pointing out violence. He's saying that there's false information. Somebody was neurotic. He's also pointing out bad advice, maybe not listening to his own instincts and intuition with that King of Cups, not reading people the right way until it was too late. He's saying they took an opportunity here. I feel like he could be saying someone did something to a drink that disempowered him with his Knight of Wands reverse, King of Cups reverse. Were you in your right mind? And if you were not in your right mind, did someone do something to put you in that position, or was it your own choice? So let's see. Were you in your right mind? All right, so we have the Three of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. And again, this is about being with people that you feel like a good reinforcements for you. He was stable. He felt like he was absolutely fine. King of Pentacles is not somebody that overdoes anything. He's not much of a risk taker. And he felt like he was amongst people he could trust with the Three of Pentacles. He felt like there was strength in numbers. He felt like he was around people that felt like family to him. He had known them for a long time, and he felt very stable and secure. I don't see anything about, okay, did someone give you something to drink? Did they do something to you to inebriate you and take you out of your right mind? Okay, we have the Ten of Cups. We have these people celebrating at a body of water again. So this is about being around people that you love, you trust. It's another energy of like celebrating and feeling happy and feeling supported. So everybody's partying and drinking. What else? You have the Ten of Pentacles, and this is the affluent people. These are the haves. He was around affluent people, and then the Seven of Pentacles here. I kind of feel like, again, something slowed down. The Seven of Pentacles is like, I feel like I need to step away from the group and kind of slow down. Okay, yeah, the Queen of Swords, his intuition was telling him, he was using his discernment here. He could have said, okay, no more. I don't want anything else to drink. All right. Were you drunk? As a result of someone else giving you something to drink. Okay, we have the Lovers in reverse. This is telling me he was in bad company. He was in poor company. There was a fight. There was an argument or something that took place here. This is hedonism, y'all. This is illness. This is pain. This is the end of something that feels beautiful and loving. This is separation. This is like misaligned values. Something went wrong. He made a decision here to cut his losses. I feel like he was cutting off the drinking. He wasn't engaging anymore. He was of sound mind with this Queen of Swords and this King of Pentacles here. There's water sign energy or maybe a Sagittarius that wasn't in their right mind. And it's almost giving me belligerent. And it feels like he kind of stepped off by himself for a moment. I'm wondering if that's why maybe he didn't want to get back on the boat. Let's say he didn't get back on the boat. That could be what it's about. He wasn't feeling very supported anymore. Something changed. A moment of clarity happened. Yeah, the Six of Cups and the Six of Swords shows me people on a boat here. Friends, people that you are familiar with, they're on the boat together. And it's like they're leaving the trouble behind. It almost feels like they left him behind. They moved to calmer waters and they left him behind and they went back to civilization. And he was just out there. Wow. But he's saying he's going to get justice. The Justice card is here, Libra energy. Okay, show me Katie's energy. Katie is showing up as the Page of Pentacles. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. The Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. Again, she felt very much like he was celebrating her. He was attracted to her. She was feeling good. It does look like she comes from money. She feels very much like she has like a silver spoon in her mouth. There's a lot of financial stability here. She was feeling admired. She was feeling adored. He was giving her a lot of attention. We have the Magician here. Now that can be influence and persuasion here. What else? Gemini and Virgo energy. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, which could as well be like drinking, but not to the extent that she would have been off her rocker. It feels like she was very much content. She knew her limits. Does feel like something was maybe hot and heavy and then she slowed it down here. So I do get rejection. I just don't know which one of them rejected the other. Okay, so Kate, I'm not seeing anything necessarily problematic with Katie, except that she may have been a part of it, whether knowingly or unknowingly, willingly or unwillingly. I don't strongly feel like Katie is the problem. I'm going to be honest with you all. I'll leave that up for your interpretation and as a possibility because, you know, the cards are not 100% concrete, even though usually my readings are. But I feel strongly that I cannot say 100% either way. I feel like there's a possibility, absolutely, that she may have turned him down at some point or wanted things to slow down. It's almost like I'm getting pump your brakes. Like, okay, let's think this through. And maybe they were kissing or they were hooking up with this Nine of Cups. Again, it's about pleasure, sensuality. And maybe it was a matter of like stopping it. And I don't know, he could have been inebriated, maybe due to his own choices, even though I don't think so. Could have been due to someone else's choices or someone could have caught them. And I do feel like maybe a little bit of violence ensued. And it does feel like if he was not well, as far as in his right mind, which I feel like he was. But let's just, that play devil's advocate here. If he wasn't in his right mind, if he was inebriated or under the influence of something, he wouldn't have been able to truly defend himself, even if he tried, even though it felt like he was protecting himself and her. But sometimes they're all involved, and that person you're protecting is actually a part of it. You never know. I don't strongly get that from Katie, but it's a possibility. All right, so when your friends left you behind, were they telling the truth that you were talking to Katie and you stayed back because you wanted to? All right, so we have no, the moon, and the Four of Cups. That means that they left him behind. The Four of Cups is self-imposed energy, is also people that are recovering from drinking. Isolated from society, they left him out there on an island. They were apathetic. There was separation. There was resentment here. There was silence. They were distracted. The moon card means there's secrets, there's lies, there's deception here. There's something, some type of trickery or hidden enemies or hidden information or emotions. So absolutely, they're telling a lie. Allegedly, they're telling a lie. It may be strong water sign placements that need to be checked out here. So why did they say they left you behind? What happened when you last saw your friends? All right, we have the Two of Swords. They were ignoring him. They were icing him out. They were at a crossroads. This was a stalemate. He was unable to move. He could have been tied up here. This person is tied up, bound, blindfolded, and there's water right behind her. There's a barrier, but the barrier is open in the middle. Okay, Libra moon energy. Okay, we have the World in reverse, and we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. Ooh. Something disturbing happened. Something disturbing happened. Something impulsive. Says a trip was canceled. The World card, that is traveling. That's a trip. He said they left early. He said something was unresolved. There were obstacles to him getting back on dry land. This is water as well. He felt like he was on this island by himself. We have the Three of Swords, which is betrayal. We have the Two of Cups and the Temperance card. I feel like there are two people here. High Priestess here. There's hidden information about this, y'all. There's something on record that they need to get to. Between these two friends, whoever are the closest friends are the ones that everybody needs to look at. And this High Priestess is a feminine energy, so that could be Katie. I feel like there are a lot of hands in this, but it's very covert. It's not out in the open. And the initials J or B may hold significance in Sagittarius, a Cancer, or Pisces. I feel water and Sagittarians need to be checked out here. Strong water. All right, guys, that's where we are going to leave it. He has regret about going on this trip. We have the Two of Wands here with the Nine of Swords. So this is like, again, he could not sleep the night before. He knew he wasn't supposed to go on this trip, but he went anyway. Seven of Swords is here, which is the fake friend card. It talks about, someone setting you up. It's trickery, it's sabotage, it's hidden illegal tactics. It's a warning. He didn't pay attention to the instincts he was feeling here. And he regrets that. So... okay, guys, I'm going to let you all go. Please like the video, subscribe if you are not already subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much for being here with me. I will see you in my next video.